Good morning to all of you. Now, today, let us start the next topic from the chapter Motion in a Plane. Today, I am going to cover the circular motion and relation between the acceleration in uniform circular motion, its direction and magnitude, acceleration in terms of angular speed and frequency, direction of r, v, w, and acceleration. So, let us start. Now, uniform circular motion. When a body moves with constant speed on a circular path, it is said to have uniform circular motion. This you know from your previous knowledge. Now let us suppose this is a point P. Now this point P is moving in a circle, then its motion is known as the uniform circular motion if it is moving with uniform or the uniform speed or the constant speed. Now this point, it is moving from point P and it reaches to point P dash. OP is R and OP dash is again R dash. This is the displacement of the particle from at point P and at point P dash. Omega is the angular velocity. A particle P moves on a circle of radius vector r with uniform velocity omega. Now let velocity at point P is the v. Since the direction of the velocity is changing continuously, so the velocity at point P and P dash will be different. So linear velocity v is constant in magnitude but it changes its direction continuously. Therefore, the particle experiences acceleration. In case of non-uniform circular motion, the particle experiences acceleration due to change in both speed and direction. Now, point to be noted that when it is a uniform circular motion, then its speed is constant and the acceleration is only because of the change in direction. But in case of the non-uniform circular motion, both the speed and the direction are changing, so the particle will experience acceleration due to change in both speed and direction. Let del theta is the angle between POP dash. Now, from this figure, let us see that del theta is the angle between POP dash as well as del theta is the angle between the two direction of the velocities. Now, these two angles are same. When the particle moves from point P to P dash, in time del t, that is t dash minus t, the line OP or the radius vector moves through an angle del theta. Del theta is called the angular displacement. The velocity vector turns through the same angle del theta and becomes v dash. So let us understand again. Then when the position vector changes from r to r dash, it moves through an angle of del theta. Then velocity also changes through an angle del theta. The linear displacement pp dash is del r and the linear distance del s is the arc pp dash. The angular velocity is the rate of change of angular displacement. Angular displacement, so instantaneous value of the angular displacement is limit del t tends to 0 del theta upon del t. As you know that angular displacement rate of change of angular displacement is the angular velocity, and whenever we are discussing the instantaneous value, then the term limit comes to there is added. So W is equal to limit del t tends to 0 del theta upon del t. Now relation between linear and angular velocity. The linear velocity is the rate of change of linear displacement. So V is equal to limit del t tends to 0 del s upon del t. But del s is equal to arc del theta. How it is? We know that distance is equal to, that is the arc length, del s is the arc length, and angle is equal to, we know that angle is equal to arc upon radius. So here arc is del s. So arc is equal to angle into radius. So angle is del theta and arc radius is r. So we can say that del s is equal to r del theta. So in place of del S upon del t, we can write v is equal to limit del t tends to 0, it will reduce to r del theta upon del t. So here v is equal to r, since r is a constant term, we can take it out. Limit del t tends to 0, del theta upon del t. Now velocity, angular velocity, so now this is omega. So we, in place of this, we can write omega. So the value v is equal to r omega, or the relation between the linear and the angular velocity. Linear velocity is equal to the r times of the angular velocity. So v is equal to omega cross r. In terms of the cross product, we can say that v is equal to omega cross r, because here r is also vector quantity, omega is also vector quantity, v is also vector quantity. So when the product of the two vector quantity is also the result is vector quantity, then the product is the cross product, and v is equal to omega cross r. As omega r, v are mutually perpendicular to each other, and omega is perpendicular to the plane containing r and v. This we have learned in the previous lectures, that the product of the the cross product of the two vectors gives the third vector. The result is also vector quantity. Then how can we find the direction using our right hand thumb rule? This we have already discussed in the previous lectures. Now acceleration in uniform circular motion. Let us draw the diagram again here. Direction of the acceleration of a particle is in a uniform circular motion. This we are going to calculate here now. Now since vector v is not we can draw the vector in any manner. Means if we shift vector from one place to another, keeping its direction and its length constant, then vector does not change its value. So here we have shifted this vector at this place. Let us see again. This is shifted at this point. Similarly, the second vector position v dash is shifted here. Angle will remain same, that is del theta. So this will give you the change in velocity. Look again. Vector is shifting, another vector, the angle is same, del theta, and this line will give you the change in velocity. Angle beta. Now look carefully. Just look carefully in these two diagrams for the direction. Now be careful or attentive at angle beta. See it. Beta is when del v is reduced, then value of beta is increased. When del v is further reduced, beta is changing. Del v is reduced and reduced, then the del v become perpendicular to the velocity vector. As del t tends to 0, del theta tends to 0 and beta tends to 90 degree, and the angle between del v and v, that is beta, increases and approaches to 90 degree, that is del v becomes perpendicular to v, and whatever is the direction of the del v is the direction of the acceleration. So we can say the direction of the acceleration is perpendicular to the velocity vector. So I am repeating it. Just look again, that as beta del theta is decreasing, del theta will decrease as del t tends to 0. Then beta increases, and one time comes when beta becomes perpendicular to velocity vector. Since r is perpendicular to v and del v is also perpendicular to v, therefore del v is acting along r minus r, that is towards the center. So since acceleration is the rate of change of velocity, therefore it acts in the direction of the change in velocity, or it acts in the direction along the radius and toward the center O. Hence the acceleration is called centripetal acceleration. So here, since acceleration is acting towards the center, so that is why it is called the centripetal, means center seeking acceleration. Now let us find an expression for the magnitude of the acceleration of a particle in a uniform circular motion. So let us come to again to the same figure. Now the two isosceles triangles OPP' and PAB. Now look at these two triangles OPP' and PAB. Both these triangles are similar triangles. Why they are similar? Because both are isosceles triangles. In triangle OPP dash, OP and OP dash both are the radius vector. Angle between them is del theta. And in this triangle, both are the velocity vector, and angle between them is del theta. So they are the isosceles triangle with equal vertex angles. So they are said to be the similar triangles. Therefore, AB in similar triangles, the corresponding sides ratio of the corresponding side is same. So we can say that AB upon PP dash is equal to PA upon OP, or AB is the change in velocity, that is del V, and PP dash is the displacement vector, magnitude of the displacement vector, and PA is the velocity, magnitude of velocity, and OP is the magnitude of position vector. So we can say that del V is equal to V upon R into del R, or acceleration is del limit del tends to 0 del V upon del T. So in this way we can say that acceleration is limit del T tends to 0 vector V upon magnitude of V upon magnitude of R into del R upon del T, or since V and R both are constants, so taken out, and limit del T tends to 0 del R upon del T, or we can say that vector acceleration is equal to V upon R into V, or it is V square upon R. So acceleration A is equal to V square upon R. Now just look at the way of writing. Here magnitude is written with the sign of magnitude, and here it is directly written. Means when we writing a vector, if we place a arrowhead over it, then it is a representation of a vector, and if we are writing simply without any arrowhead, then it is the magnitude. So magnitude, either for the magnitude we put the lines like this, then this is equal to V. So magnitude of vector V is equal to V. So here that is why we have written it AC is equal to V square upon R. So this is the expression for the centripetal acceleration. Now centripetal acceleration can be expressed in terms of the angular speed also. AC is equal to V square upon R, but V is equal to R omega. So AC is equal to R omega square upon R, that is omega square R. So this can also be represented in terms of angular speed. Centripetal acceleration in terms of frequency can be expressed as, because omega is equal to 2 pi nu, this is nu is the frequency. So ACP is equal to omega square R. This will become, in place of omega we can write 2 pi nu, and this will reduce to formula. Now direction of R, V, omega and ACP, that is the centripetal acceleration. The relative direction of the various components are shown in this figure. Look at carefully the relative direction of the various quantities. The OP is the direction of the radius vector. P, this is the direction of the velocity vector. This is the direction of angular velocity and direction of centripetal acceleration. Thank you. That's all for today's lecture.